Hi guys, Righteous Rhema here, bringing you your dose of truth for the day, and that is this. Beware of backwards connections. Beware of backwards connections. So when you want to connect with a new person, usually they say this is your face, this is your back. So this is your face, and this is your back, and then this is their face, and this is their back. So when you want to meet a new person, you turn towards them, you face them, and you begin to connect. You begin to remove distance between each other. You begin to become intimate, which is the removal of distance. So this is intimate. We were here, we're distant, we removed distance over time, came together, face to face, we're connected. But what happens when you have people that try to do backwards connections? So this is you here, and they back up to you. Or you're not even trying to meet them, and they're backing up to you like this. So that's what I call backwards connections. It's not what I call it, but this book I have here, I'm going to flash it really quickly. This book here, Controlling People, by Patricia Evans. This book is so good. God led me to that book like maybe 11, 12 years ago. And this is a really good book. But sometimes you be forgetting, you got to get back and remind yourself. So I need to get back into this book here. But backwards connections is essentially when a person wants to get to meet you for the first time, right? They see you, oh, she's interesting, she looks pretty, or he looks, like somebody I want to get to meet. They're supposed to come ask you questions to get to know you. But in a backwards connection, they don't ask questions. They just look at you from a distance and they say, that's who you are. That's who you are. They don't ask any questions. So the way you get to know a new person, the way you get to meet a brand new person that you've never met before is you ask questions. Isn't that so profound? Like, ask questions. Now you may say, well, Misty, I did ask questions and everything they told me was a lie. And that sometimes happens. Sometimes people are going to lie to you. They're going to make up things because they want to make a good impression. They want to impress you. They want to perform. And so it's okay if you see what they're saying is not matching up with what they're actually doing or producing. Then you can ask more questions and say, hey, I thought you told me you were a doctor. But every time I see you, you're wearing, a FedEx uniform. You can ask questions again. But what you should not do, what you should not be doing is seeing a person from a distance that you never met before and telling them who they are. People, according to this book right here, people define themselves. People have a right to define themselves to you. Now, if they show you something different, then the Bible says, Matthew 6, I believe, by their fruits, or Matthew 7, by their fruits you shall know them. So if somebody tells me they're an apple tree, and I keep seeing lemons grow on them, I'm going to go with what I see, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes before somebody even gives you, even before somebody can even tell you who they are, you've already defined them. Now, what purpose, the book is called Controlling People. So you got to ask yourself, why would somebody try to backwards connect with me, backwards define me without asking me? 2 reasons. One reason is to control you. I've had people do that to me before. I've had men on Facebook, I let a stranger add me on Facebook or whatever, or even somebody I know, and they'll comment on my pictures like, oh, your hair is too worldly. Oh, are you converted, my sister? Your arms are showing. Are you converted? You got hair color. Your hair is cut. Are you saved? Are you a believer? And basically what they're saying to me is, Misty, I have defined what Christianity looks like for all women, and you don't match my criteria, so you are not a Christian. If you want to be a Christian according to my standards, you need to cover your arms up. You need to not wear color in your hair. Don't wear lipstick, so forth and so on. So that person who's in my inbox, in my comment section, they didn't want to get to know Misty. If anybody with 2 brain cells put together can know that Misty is a believer. Misty is a certified, bona fide, genuine believer. But people don't want to get to know me. They just say, she's not a believer. She wears red lipstick. There's no way she's a believer. So you got to be aware of backwards connections. People who, instead of asking you who you are, asking you what you believe, they tell you what you believe. So one purpose of backwards connections is to control people. If you're a pastor, or you're in a very controlling type church, you may tell your members, all my members, the women have to wear long skirts, and the men cannot wear earrings or something like that, or men cannot wear dreadlocks in my church. You're trying to control people. You're saying, in order for you to be considered a Christian in my book, you have to meet my standards of what Christians look like. And then the other purpose, another C word, purpose of controlling people, or the purpose of backwards connections or backwards defining people, is to categorize people. So I see this a lot in the political sector. Well, people who are passionate about politics. I'm not passionate about politics, and like in that regard, like I'm not like I'm Democrat, I'm Republican. I'm not passionate like that. I do care about politics and how America is run, but I'm not like in a category. And because when you're in a category, people, they put you in a category so they can throw you away. That's the purpose of a category. They can box you up, put you away on the shelf. So, for example, let's say you're at a networking event and somebody finds that you voted for Trump, for example. What they'll do is they'll say, if they're a Democrat, they'll say, oh, she's a Trump supporter, so you know she ain't no good. Or you voted for Biden. Oh, you voted for Biden. Oh, you hate babies. Okay, you hate babies. Okay. Put them in the box, put them in the category, put them on the shelf. Don't ever look at them again. Don't ever talk to them again. Don't engage with them again. Don't like them again. Don't invite them to your wedding. Don't invite them to your birthday party because they've been categorized and they've been thrown away. So do not let people backwards connect with you because they're only doing it to throw you away. People will ask you, who you vote for? They're not asking you who you voted for so they can get to know you and know your thoughts and your views, and they don't care about your views. They're asking you who you voted for so they can throw you away. Some people will ask you, what school did you go to? Some people ask you questions like that so they can go ahead and decide how important you are to them. Some people who ask you what you do for a living, they're not asking you because they want to know where you work at. They're asking you so they can go ahead and categorize you as a loser or a low class, or, you know, is she cool enough for me to associate with? So I'm telling you all, even when people do ask you questions, you got to kind of find out the purpose of their questions. Some questions are information seeking, some questions are challenging. Some questions people are asking in order to categorize you and throw you away. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about controlling people, backwards connections. So if you want to get to know somebody, you literally have to look at them, decide you want to get to know them. You can look on their Facebook page and whatnot, get to know who they are. But even after you do that, you meet them and say, hey, I noticed the other day you posted you went so-and-so on vacation. What was that about? Oh, I went for this purpose right here. Okay. You know, I noticed the other day you posted this quote by this certain philosopher. He's like an atheist. Why'd you post that quote if you're a Christian? Okay. Like, you have to ask people questions because people are going to post things, and people post things, it's not the complete of them. It's they agree with it at a point. They might have went there at one time, but it's not the complete of them. It's a part of them. It's true of them. They were there. They shared it. They posted it. They wore it, but it's not the complete of them. And so you have to ask people questions to get to know the complete of them. And I guess what I realized, people are really worthwhile getting to know. I've met some true treasures in this world that the old me would have never talked with because I had categorized them. I would have said, oh, they grew up this way. You know, the denomination they in, they wild in that denomination. Oh, they play this fraternity. They play this sorority. You know, they grew up in this neighborhood. You know how they are over there. You know, like, we assume who people are because we've already got a box to put them in. Some people don't fit in no box. They're a wild card. They're different. They're just not like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, some people, they assume I only listen to gospel music. If you fetch my radio on, you will hear, I've been listening to classical music, jazz, Latino music, trying to learn my Spanish. I've been listening to R&B. I listen to all kind of music. If you think I'm just one-dimensional, you'll say, oh, she only listen to gospel. She's one-dimensional. I only invite her to a gospel concert because all she's gonna listen to is that. I buy her only a bunch of gospel CDs, a bunch of gospel records. But that's not even who I mean, I do listen to gospel a lot. That's what I listen to most of the time. But it's not all I listen to. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't categorize people. Oh, you went to a PWI, predominantly white institution, so you don't know how to dance and you bougie and I'm from Memphis. I'm from Memphis, y'all. I'm not from California. I'm from Memphis. So, you know, people have to give you a chance. They don't have to give you a chance, but they should give you a chance. So, yes, you are. If you want to know somebody that you just met, ask them who they are. Ask questions. You'll be surprised. You'll be pleasantly surprised, more than likely. And, you know, the thing about it is, you want to be known and you want to know people. You want to truly know real people. You don't want to just look at a group of people and say, like, I know some women are like really anti-black men. It's an anti-black men movement. Like, then don't date black men. I know people who are like, do not date black men. They're elite. They are horrible. They're pathologically unable to be in relationships with people. They're unable to be good fathers. I heard people actually, you look on YouTube, they teach this all the time. So in their head, they say all black men are pathologically broken. They cannot be good providers. They cannot be good protectors. They cannot be good fathers. They cannot be good husbands. And so a whole movement of black women are just washing their hands of all black men. Not asking each black man what they believe, how they are they providers. They just say, no, all of you all are trash. And that's what racist people do. They'll just say, all black people are this, all black people are that, or all Asians are like this, all Mexicans are like this. But you all, everyone is not everything. Everybody don't fit in every box. Some people are just true, genuine, worthwhile getting to know people. Most people are good, decent people. And so you have to give people a chance. You don't have to, but you probably should. Because you'll miss out on some real good people. And you don't want to be backward defined. How do you feel somebody looked at one picture on your Facebook page and they just profiled your whole identity? She a hoe, she's a slut, she's ghetto, she's ratchet because of one picture. You could be the smartest person in their world. But they assume because you had on this one outfit, because you shared this one quote, because you shared this one song, they assume that you're just an idiot. You know what I'm saying? That you're nothing. So we do have to be careful sometimes about our representation online and in person. But at the same time, you all, that's your laws, not theirs. They still gonna be fly, whether or not you think highly of them or not. So, you know, I think you do yourself justice if you do yourself well if you just ask questions. And if you don't like what you hear, then go about your way. You ain't gotta like what you hear. And if what they're telling you don't line up with what they're doing, then just, you know, go about your way as well. But do not just try to categorize people so that you can, don't try to backwards connect with people so that you can tell them who they are, so that you can control who you think they are or who they need to be, and so that you can categorize them so you can put them in a box, put them in a trash can, throw them away because they don't fit your model, who you think is the worthwhile person getting to know. Thank you guys for watching. Please share and subscribe. It's Righteous Rama. Bye-bye.